from KSAT 12. The News at 5 starts right now.
Good evening. Thanks for tuning in to KSAT News at 5. Here's a few of the top stories making headlines this Saturday. San Antonio police are still searching for the person who shot and killed a 17-year-old boy during a drug deal. This happened last night in the 900 block of East Dolnig Court. That's on the southeast side. The teen was with one other person who was detained at the scene after running away. Meanwhile, that suspect left the scene in a black car. The identities of everyone involved have still not been released. And San Antonio police have charged a man with intoxication assault after they say he ignored a red light, then hit two other cars. It happened just before midnight last night in the intersection of East Commerce and North General McMullen. Two women in those cars had to be rushed to the hospital with serious injuries. The 30-year-old suspect also taken to the hospital. He will be booked into the Bexar County Jail when he no longer requires medical attention. Last month, Toyota recalled over 100,000 trucks and SUVs over engine issues, and now they say they're going to have to replace each and every one. This applies to just some model year 2022-23 Tundra pickup trucks and Lexus GX SUVs. Good news for the owners, though, you won't have to pay a dime. Toyota says the owners should be notified by the end of the month. All right, training camps are officially underway all throughout the National Football League. Our KSAT 12 sports crew has been in Oxnard, California since Tuesday, keeping us up to date on the Dallas Cowboys training camp since the team got to the West Coast. Lucky Mary Rominger joins us live in California after an eventful day at camp. Mary, tell us about the Cowboys training camp today. What's going on there?
Well, today across the NFL was back together Saturday. The way that the Cowboys celebrated the exciting event was with their opening ceremony that took center stage right on the field behind me. The Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders garnered the biggest roar from the crowd. Then Jerry Jones spoke to the fans. He also presented the mayor of Oxnard with a sizable donation. And right before the opening ceremony started, I went around and caught up with fans, interviewed them, and they all said the one thing they wanted to hear from Jones today was an update on CeeDee Lamb's contract. However, that did not happen. Larry Ramirez will have more on all that went down in Jerry Jones' press conference today.
Yeah, obviously the cheerleaders got a big roar. They've been definitely in the spotlight. So speaking of CeeDee Lamb, the contracts have been the biggest concern. So where does the team stand in terms of the contract challenges that are in front of them right now?
Well, they have three players that they need to pay. All three are superstars. One is CeeDee Lamb, of course, the most immediate of the concerns. He's coming off of a season where he led the NFL in receptions. You have Dak Prescott, who's coming off of a season where he was second in MVP voting, and of course, one of the best defenders, edge rushers in the NFL, Micah Parsons. Now, Jerry Jones in his opening presser said he estimates all three of those players to take up 70% of the payroll and 30% for the rest of the team. Now, whether that's exactly accurate is one thing, but we do know it's a consensus. It's going to be a challenge to keep all three of those players.
Yeah, never a dull moment. And I'm sure you're tracking countless storylines at training camp. There's always something to follow, but tell us about the one you've been paying extra attention to.
Right now, I'm loving seeing what's developing with the offensive line. We saw Tyron Smith leave this offseason to the New York Jets, and with that, the Cowboys drafted a promising prospect in Tyler Guyton, but they also have a veteran in Chuma Edoga that's battling for that same left tackle spot. On the O-line, you have Terrence Steele from Steele High School, who's having a very impressive career, and excited to see him continue to develop. You have Tyler Smith emerging as a veteran of the group. So there's just so many talented pieces in the offensive line, and how it all comes together without Tyron Smith is going to be intriguing as training camp progresses, Courtney.
You're kept nice and busy in Oxnard, California. Thank you so much, Mary Rominger, camping with the Cowboys. We'll see you soon, Mary.
A lot of sunshine where Mary is.
It's almost unfair.
You can see it in the background. I mean, it looks beautiful over there.
Does it look humid?
That's true. And hey, yes, we have the clouds in place. We haven't seen as much sun today. But Courtney, if there's one thing that's good about that, we've seen a little bit of rain in a few locations. And also, we have kept temperatures down mid to upper 80s. That's pretty much been it here across the San Antonio area this Saturday afternoon. East of I-35, south of I-10, the coastal plains, the lucky winners when it came to the rain this morning. Just a few isolated showers, especially near Gonzales right now. A little downpour that's starting to weaken over there in Medina County, just to the southeast of Hondo. A 30% chance continues through sunset. Then we quiet things down for the most part overnight. But early tomorrow morning, just before sunrise, it's possible we see a slight uptick. A few downpours possible closer to San Antonio to kick off the day. And then one more chance, a 40% potential for some spotty hit or miss downpours possible throughout the back half of the weekend's plans. Not going to be for everybody. Don't cancel your plans, but keep the umbrella handy just to be on the safe side. Other than that, we're going to start off in the mid 70s by 7 a.m. 82 by lunchtime tomorrow, a high temperature near 90 degrees. Enjoy it because high pressure takes over into next week. Temperatures respond by climbing into the mid to upper 90s. Rain chances drop off. More sunshine and Saharan dust by Wednesday. Courtney will detail all that tonight on the Night Beat.
All right. Thank you so much, Mia. Well, for the rest of our show, we're getting a deeper look into the case of Stephen Clare, accused of trying to kill his wife and child and killing his other child. Erica Hernandez breaks down the case.
I counted every single time he pulled the trigger in my head. Okay, 3 bullets, 4 bullets, 5 bullets. And then he went to pull the gun, and that's when I got shot in the face.
It's heartbreaking to see a family like this destroyed by someone who, for whatever reason, decided they would take a gun and shoot a couple of little kids and the mom. I have to add that this is infuriating.
No words can describe the horrific attack Mariah Gardner sustained, allegedly at the hands of her ex-husband. What was worse, that her children were also attacked, and the man accused is their father. For the past year, Gardner has opened up in a way no one who has been through what she has been through has before. She has taken control of her story, a story that started a little over a year ago. We want to warn you, the details will be hard to hear, and the topic of domestic violence could be a trigger for some. At 28 years old, Mariah Gardner was starting a new normal. In 2023, she was newly divorced and raising 4 kids, age 11, 8, 2, and an 11-month-old baby. Mariah and the kids live with her father on Robin Hood Place in North San Antonio near Alamo Heights. Gardner and 50-year-old Stephen Clare had a rocky relationship. According to court filings, Clare and Mariah were married in June 2021, just months before Clare had filed a court-ordered paternity test to determine if he was the father of their first daughter, Rosalie. The two then separated in January of 2022. By February, Mariah filed for divorce, citing discord in the marriage and a conflict of personalities. At that time, Mariah was pregnant with their second child. Baby Willow was born in April 2022. Despite Clare being there for the birth of his child, their divorce was finalized in December of that year. According to KSAT Investigates, no record of any protective orders had ever been filed by Gardner, but San Antonio police calls for service showed officers were called to the home on Robin Hood Place in October 2022 after a woman said a man was harassing her, but the man had taken off before officers arrived. Because nothing came of the call, the names of those involved could not be released. During this time, Clare was working as a contract nurse practitioner at the emergency clinic of Alamo Heights. In April 2023, Mariah was still in contact with Stephen, hoping to keep a cordial relationship so they could continue to co-parent. But according to Mariah, things with Clare were getting difficult. On April 10th, 2023, everything changed.
My ex-husband came over and he would randomly just stop by. So I didn't think much of it. I let him in the house and he said hi to the girls. And I continued to kind of get everybody ready for bed.
Mariah says the next thing she knew, a gun was pointed at her from a hospital bed. Mariah told us what happened that day.
He told me he was going to kill me and every single one of my children. And I started fighting him, trying to get the gun away from him, because at that point I had realized, okay, this is not a joke. He was punching me. He was kicking me. He told me to go get my oldest son, that he wanted to kill him first. And I stalled and I said, I don't know where he is. I even told him at one point, he's not home. And he made me go from room to room looking for my kids. He kicked in 2 doors, a closet, moved my entire bed out of the way to check for my children to see if they were hiding. And I finally, I fought him as much as I could.
Mariah says she tried running out for help and screaming to neighbors to call police, but the attack didn't stop.
I saw him walk in the house. I continued to fight him, and he continued punching me and hitting me with a gun. And that's when I got shot in the abdomen. I grabbed the gun. I was trying to get it from him. We fought some more in the living room. And I was so tired. I couldn't fight anymore. I'd been shot twice. And I'd been beaten up. And so he got me down on my knees, and I just held the barrel of the gun. And I pointed it toward my hips because I knew that he'd have less of a chance hitting a major organ if he shot me in the pelvis. And I counted every single time he pulled the trigger. In my head, okay, 3 bullets, 4 bullets, 5 bullets. And then he went to pull the gun, and that's when I got shot in the face. And at that point, I was bleeding so heavily. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't speak. I was just coughing, and blood was just coming out of my mouth.
Mariah says she then crawled outside and collapsed on the sidewalk, hoping and praying that her children would be okay.
I really thought she was going to die in my arms.
SAPD officer Veronica Butler was the first on the scene. Here's how she describes what she saw as she arrived.
She was on the sidewalk. She was laying down almost in a pool of blood, which I realized that was hers. Initially, when I approached her, she said, "I'm dying." She had blood coming out of her. I couldn't even figure out which part of her head or body at that time. I applied pressure to help her, and I spoke to her to keep her breathing, just to let her know that she's not alone and that somebody is here with her. She told me that he said he was going to kill her and the kids.
Mariah says that during the attack, Claire walked back into the home where his 2 young daughters were inside.
This is the part that gets hard. He went in further into the house. And he laid my 2 girls down on the floor next to each other and took out a pocket knife.
Both girls were stabbed multiple times. Claire then just left the home. Mariah says her 2 sons were able to escape from a window and were not physically harmed. Mariah and the girls suffered extensive injuries. It was too much for 11-month-old Willow. She didn't survive, dying 2 days shy of her first birthday.
They tried to do everything they could for Willow, but by the time they got her to the hospital, her blood alkaline level was just already, she was beyond repair. There was nothing that they could do for her. Fortunately, Rosalie, my other daughter, they were in the same operating room. And so at least she wasn't alone. She was with her sister. And I knew something. I don't know if it's a mother's instinct or what. And Willow she came to me, and I immediately knew that she was gone.
The days after the attack, Mariah and Rosalie went through surgeries and recovery. They spent weeks in the hospital, but the road to recovery was not over. After Claire was arrested, bond was set at $2 million. However, a month later, 437th District Court Judge Joel Perez revoked Claire's bond, meaning he will sit in the Bexar County Jail until he goes to trial.
Right.
6 months after the vicious attack on Mariah and her children, Mariah held a walk in Willow's honor.
I don't ever want another mother to have to walk down a street because her child was murdered by their father.
Those in attendance walked alongside the family, reenacting the route taken by their attacker. Then a candlelight vigil and a moment of silence.
I would tell her how much I love her and how proud I am of her. She is saving people every single day, and she doesn't even know it.
Mariah has been turning her pain and loss of her daughter into purpose by spreading awareness about domestic violence. Mariah said she called police several times against Claire in the months leading up to the attack, but she claims nothing was really done. In February this year, the district attorney announced in a hearing that they would be pursuing the death penalty against Claire.
Your Honor, the state of Texas is seeking the death penalty against the defendant.
The first time the death penalty applied to a case since 2021. While Mariah says there is no punishment enough for Claire, she was glad it was being applied.
It was important for me to know that he would be punished to the greatest extent of what the law allows. And I was very vocal with the DA's office in terms of what I wanted. This is something that my children and I have been forced to live with every single day. I will live with this trauma every single day for the rest of my life. And I will do whatever it takes to make sure that he is held accountable.
Jury selection for Claire's trial is tentatively set for October 11th. Jury selection for a death penalty case takes several weeks to complete. Once completed, a trial date will be set. A year has passed since the attack, and while Mariah is trying to be strong for her kids, it is still a struggle. When we spoke to her in February, she talked about how she has been doing.
We are probably better than expected, but not as good as we'd like to be. I know me personally, I struggle very much with PTSD, which has actually gotten worse with time instead of getting better. In the beginning, I think my nervous system was just so disoriented that I was still very much in survival mode. So now that the dust has kind of settled, everything's kind of creeping in. Like now I'm realizing different triggers, and it's been an interesting path to have to navigate and also take care of my children, which is, difficult even without PTSD, without having to survive something like what I did. My boys, they're doing well. They've completed their, the trauma portion of their therapy, which is good news. They are, they're doing better in terms of symptoms from their trauma. So as their mom, I'm just so thankful for that. I'm thankful for their therapists being so great. And Rosalie, it's still a process. She struggles emotionally. She gets scared. To be expected, obviously. It's going to be a long process for her. And we don't know how it'll manifest in adulthood. She's so resilient, and she's just, being a toddler is so wonderful because you can go through something so horrible and still laugh and play and love and trust. So she has a wonderful support system, and she's so loved.
As she now prepares for a future trial, Mariah is also sharing her story to highlight the problems with domestic violence and has become an advocate in the cause and hopes her story sends a message.
This can't happen to people. This tells perpetrators or potential perpetrators, we are not going to tolerate this anymore. Domestic violence has to stop. Child abuse has to stop because you will be held accountable.
if you want to hurt your family, this is what is going to happen. This is the result.
As for Willow's memory, she holds her daughter close to her heart daily and gathers strength from her surviving children to just take it one day at a time.
She was just starting, and we will never. Now, every birthday, every Christmas, every anniversary, our survival day, I mean, she'll never be a part of it, except in our memory. She's literally a collection of memories. And I wish I knew how I was going to get through that, but I'm kind of just going with the flow. I'm giving myself the space to grieve. And I just want to be there with my kids and just hug them, because we did survive. And I think if we can find a way to honor Willow while we also celebrate our survival, I think that'll be the key to getting through it, and just lots and lots of prayers.
If you or someone you know is in an abusive relationship, KSAT.com's domestic violence page has a long list of resources. If you are in crisis, you can call or text 911 or the domestic violence hotline at 800-799-7233. Thanks for joining us. Texas Crime Stories will be back soon with an all-new episode.